Dear students, I am Dr. V. Premala Priyadarshini here with you to teach on the topic Budget in Food Service Management. In today's class, we are going to learn a brief introduction on the budget, the objective of this module, the cost concepts, different types of budgets, and the steps involved in preparing a good budget and their limitations. Let me first introduce to you the concept of management, the cost, and then we can move on to the concept of budget. What is management? Management is an art of getting things done through people. It involves both the action of thinking and doing a work. The finance department of any food service operation meticulously conceives all their financial requirement, their funds well in advance, and carefully utilize their funds to maintain their profit margin. To begin, the success of any food service industry is highly determined by its quality of management. In fact, the growth and survival of a food service outlet largely depends on its management concepts and the management practices it adopts. Since budget is a practice of money management, a better understanding of cost and its behavior is mandatory before we start our learning process on budget. With this brief introduction, this current module will enable you to gain knowledge on the various cost concepts, a better understanding on the different types of budgets and its advantages, and you will acquire skill in preparing a good budget. Students, before going in detail on budgeting in food service, let us familiarize ourselves with the basics of different types of cost and their relevance in food service. How will you define a cost? Yes, you are right. A cost can be defined as the price of any commodity or service utilized, consumed, bought or sold. In food service, any product that are lost, pilfered and wasted are also considered to be consumed because it is no longer available for the purpose for which it was purchased. Hence, the object of any finance department is to decrease the cost and to increase the profit. Therefore, keep in mind that if we have to reduce or control the cost, we have to understand some basic components of cost. Be it any kind of food service, basically there are three different types of cost, namely food cost or cost of materials, cost of employees or labor cost, and overhead cost. Food cost or cost of materials includes all raw materials or ingredients required to prepare a dish or a menu. On the other hand, the salary component of the staff and their benefits like insurance, pension, bonus, medical allowances, uniform, food and housing loan are also called as labor cost or cost of employees. Cost incurred on rent, fuel, rates, maintenance of equipment, depreciations, cleaning materials and administrative cost are the overhead cost. The behavior of these costs with respect to the change in volume of sales is referred to as behavior of cost. You know, students, based on the behavior, costs are classified as fixed cost, semi-fixed cost and variable cost. Now let us see the characteristics of these costs briefly. Fixed cost. The cost that remains constant virtually irrespective of any change in the volume of sales is called as a fixed cost. Examples are the rent, insurance. Though rent, rates and insurance also change over the period of time, when it comes to the assessment of profitability, it remains fixed. This is because profit is always calculated over a stipulated period of time. Semi-fixed costs are also termed as semi-variable cost. These costs doesn't stay constant like fixed cost but show some slight change in response to the sales volume in certain marketing environment or circumstances, but not in direct proportion. Example, the cost of fuel, cleaning materials. Let me make it simple for you with an example. The fuel cost may increase on Saturdays and Sundays due to high rate of customer turnover on weekends if it plans to sell the same dishes as listed in the menu card. On the other hand, if the hotel plans to change the menu and sell only chaat items and pastries on weekend at the same rate of customers turnover, there may be a considerable decrease in the fuel cost for the same number of customers because only less fuel would have been used for cooking. The cost, which keeps changing in proportion to the volume of sales, is called as a variable cost. The classic example is your food cost. The food cost for preparing 150 portions of pizza will be proportionately greater than the food cost required for preparing 50 portions of pizza. However, remember that in practice, when sales volume increases, the variable cost, the food cost, decreases. This is because bulk purchase of food can reduce the food cost as well as transportation charges, and similarly bulk cooking can also reduce the labor cost. With this basic understanding on the cost, let us now move on to the budgeting. A budget can be defined as the plan or a process which estimates the expenditure based on past receipt and adjust for future outcome. It is usually expressed in monetary values, a percentage, or any other units. Budget has many advantages, some of which are: they help to establish a target to be achieved by various departments. A manager can have a control over sales, production, and service. It can also monitor the progress from time to time by comparing the actual results with the budgeted targets. It might increase the spirit of competitiveness among the staff as the targets will be set and allow them to earn bonus when the targets are exceeded. Now, having seen on the advantages of budgets, let us learn more on type of budgets. Budgets can be classified based on various perspectives. Budgets can be capital and operating based on subjective points of view. Depending on comprehensiveness, it is master and departmental budget, and based on level of sales, it is fixed and flexible budget. Students, let me explain the different types of budgets one by one in detail. Subjective. Capital budgets deals with one-time investment funds or assets of organization. Example, building, infrastructure, purchase of equipments, and investments in shares. Operating budgets deals with the money spent on running operations of the organization. These may include purchase, staff cost, maintenance, etc. Students, the different components of operating budgets will be discussed later in the upcoming presentation. As you know, based on comprehensiveness, budget is classified into master and departmental budget. Master budgets are prepared based on the previous records showing the profit or loss of an organization through which the possible income and expenditure can be estimated. Keep it in your mind that this helps to forecast the target of the organization also. Likewise, the department budgets are prepared by each department of the organization for planning their targets and achieving them. Let me take you to the features of a fixed and a flexible budget, a classification based on level of sales. Fixed budgets are those which cannot be changed over a long time and are not affected by the level of sales. Example, money spent on advertising, rent, etc. In contrary, flexible budgets predetermine the cost with respect to the sales, and then they are planned, and so they keep changing. I hope so far you're clear with the concept on classification of budgets. Let us now see some of the important components of operating budgets. There are many of the operating budgets which are common and important. They are sales budget, stock budget, and staff or labor budget. A sales budget can be regarded as the most important type of budget, as all the other budget work on the assumption of how much is being sold and how much revenue can be generated. There are many factors that influence this budget, and hence it is more difficult to prepare, and if assumed wrongly, all the other budget will be affected. The factors on which this budget depends are the past performance, which is based on old sales record, seasonal trends and fluctuations, so on. The current trends, I mean the lifestyle changes, the type of customers, likes and dislikes of the customers, etc. The limiting factors, different factors that limits the sales in a particular area, such as economic fluctuation, climatic changes and so on. The other factors, level of competition, employees, climate, government, location and their effects on future. Let me explain this with an example. Look at this table. The actual sales figure of a restaurant for 3 consecutive years were analyzed and were given here. In the given table explains the following trend. The percentage turnover in a restaurant sale was continuously falling in spite of a slight increase in a sales revenue. When the limiting factors analyzed, it was found to be the dining space of the restaurant. There was a gradual increase in a bar sales, but because of the identified space limitation, the increase for the year ahead cannot be very much greater. Sundry sales too are expected to increase as above, but not too dramatically. With this record, at the end of every month, the actual sales would be compared with the budgeted ones and check whether the targets are achieved or not. If not, immediate actions to correct the known problem, that is dining space limitation factors, to be corrected. I hope you are clear with the example. May we now move on to the next one, the stock budget. The stock budget is very closely connected to sales budget, as the estimation of raw materials and the quantity needed depends on the sales. The other factors include storage space and capital. Remember, these budgets are usually prepared at selling price to customer, and it shouldn't be changed without prior permission or in case of seasonal discount. Also note that the amount by which the prices of goods are reduced is called markdown. The difference between the opening stock and the selling price gives a cumulative markup on selling price. The factors that influence the stock budget are wastage or surplus stock. It is usually written during physical stock verification, and if the difference is larger, it may be due to faulty record or pilferage. Also, improper receiving of invoice, stock on sales or return basis, items on customer approvals can also influence the stock budget. Stock turnover. Turnover can be calculated by dividing the selling price by the average stock during the period. To prevent wastage by deterioration or pilferage, a faster turnover is better. With those tips on stock budget, let us now move on to staff or labor budget. This type of budget is about the number of staff, their salaries, extra benefits provided to them, cost of meals provided, payment of overtime, etc. The number of sales or sales budget determines the number of staff needed and their workload. A department-wise analysis would be more effective, and job rotation also helps during peak time. Let us see some of the other budgets. Many other budgets like cost, expenses are prepared for an overall estimation and the performance of the department, and to know the capital requirement of the department for advertising, maintenance, overhead expenses. This helps to keep the cash or capital readily available whenever required. Likewise, cash budget mainly deals with the different kinds of possible income to the organization and the possible expenses, including fixed ones like rent. The cash budget helps to know the proper capital plan and proper use of resources to build up the asset of the organization. Never forget that a master budget includes the profit and loss statement to reach out a balance sheet. It helps to know whether the budgeted net profit is achieved or not. Compilation of a balance sheet will project the progress of the organization, which is done by evaluating the number of new assets, amount of depreciation on equipment, premises, and so on. Usually, the financial target to achieve the main goals are planned according to this budget. Now, let us move on to the preparation of budget. The preparation of budget plays an important role in an organization. Hence, the personnel involved in this should be carefully appointed and involves highly qualified managers. There is usually a budgeting committee where all the managers of various departments are involved and their higher officials are clearly defined. A proper investigation is done by the committee, which includes past income, expenditure, fluctuation from time to time, along with current status of organization, and accordingly the plan is prepared. This analysis can help to know about the area of profit, degree of employment, competition, staff turnover. The committee also decides upon the control period, that is, the time period between the preparation of budget and the verification of result. The first step in the preparation of budget is the most important one, that is forecasting. A good forecasting gives profit to the organization, satisfying the needs of the customer. Small and short forecasting plays a major role in the preparation of budget. Some of them include the balanced sales target for the area, which is obtained by subtracting the cumulative sales achieved from the annual target. This balanced target helps to know how much more effort should be put in to achieve the defined goal of the organization or the defined profit. Sales of previous 2 to 3 years targets, this helps to know the long-term trend of the sales. Current status of the sales for the past few weeks, this also helps to know the short-term trends of the sales. With this brief note on preparation of budget, let us finally see some of the limiting factors to be considered while planning the budget. The first one is accommodation. In residential establishments like hotels, hospitals, old age homes, once the available space is filled, the only way to increase the revenue is by increasing the price. The second one, seating capacity. The seating capacity or the dining space is usually fixed in an establishment, and to increase the sales, strategies like increase in menu price or customer turnover per seat should be taken into account. The third one, capital. If enough capital is not available for expansion or increasing choices, it becomes a limiting factor. The fourth one is on staff. When enough staffs are not there, the production and service department might be affected and becomes a limiting factor. The fifth one is on management. Managers appointed should have proper leadership as it influences the staff, which in turn has an influence on the production and sales. Sixth one, policy. Sometimes the management policies can have a huge effect on the production. Some of the policies can be limiting the number of staffs, lower the stock level, and reduce the chances for proper utilization of funds. The seventh one is on customers' demand. The demand from the customers are never ending and unpredictable. They change from time to time, so it acts as a limiting factor. Remember that competition and high pricing always remains as a major cause of concern while planning the budget. To summarize, let us remember that we studied on three cost concepts, namely the fixed cost, the semi-fixed cost and the variable cost. Based on subjective point of view, budgets are classified into capital and operating budgets. Based on comprehensiveness, they are classified as master and departmental budgets. And based on level of sales, they are classified as fixed and flexible budget. Students, since budgeting is a futuristic goal of action, careful planning and execution under a controlled environment will make any food service a successful one. Thank you for listening. Have a fantastic day.